Real Black founder Michael J. Dennis is an award-winning filmmaker, curator, and media host based here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's also a graduate of both NYU's Tisch School of the Arts and the American Film Institute Conservatory. Real Black's mission is to educate, enlighten, and entertain, and empower people through Black film. Thank you for chronicling our history and for making it easier to access these archives. I want to introduce Michael J. Dennis to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Woohoo! Hey.
Woo!
Hey, Karen. It's good to be here.
Excellent. I'm dressed for the occasion today.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
I have no clue.
Someone told me that you have reached your 21-year benchmark as a full-time filmmaker, and then in addition to that, 20 years of Real Black Presents.
Yeah, Real Black Presents was our monthly screening series that we started at the Prince Music Theater, which is now the Philadelphia Film Center, I believe, 15th and Chestnut, or Broad and Chestnut in Philadelphia. We started in December of 2003, showcasing Black film. Prior to that, there had not really been a Black film festival in Philadelphia. And we did that for 16 years, and then we took a hiatus right before the pandemic, stopped doing that, and basically moved the energy over to YouTube, where we were very successful during the pandemic. And so now I think it's just good to note that we've been doing this for that amount of time. It's always good to celebrate an anniversary now, isn't it?
Of course. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
What other successes do you have to share with me?
Oh, what's in the last what? I mean,
however many years.
I am the epitome of success. Right, I got the microphone here, but yeah, doing okay. Yeah. I guess also, I mean, I don't know how much time, we can talk about Bill Cosby documentary.
Please do.
Had been very fortunate in the past 20 years to see the growth of Black independent film into what we're now seeing as it being dominated, Black film dominating the mainstream culture, things like Black Panther. Ryan Coogler was a guest on Real Black TV for his first feature film, Fruitvale Station, and now he's got the Creed franchise and the Black Panther franchise. If you go back, you can see Ava DuVernay when she was promoting her very first feature film, and now she just finished filming a movie called Cased, all over the place. So, and finished up 11 seasons, I think it's 11 seasons of Queen Sugar. So what we're seeing now is sort of a transition phase from that wave of independent filmmakers. Pete Chapman doing very well in episodic TV, Matthew Cherry doing extremely well, won an Academy Award for Hair Love, and that book continues to sell. Like I can't go into a bookstore without seeing a Hair Love poster or a Hair Love display.
Oh, wow.
And that Matthew Cherry started out as somebody who we showcased his movie the last fall. At the International House. So, it's amazing the speed and the growth that this movement has taken on in the last decade. But it's left me in a position of like, well, what do I do next? Like I'm growing the professor beard.
That's wonderful. Well done.
I'm in the wilderness, folks. I'm in the wilderness. I'm in my Jim Morrison. Should I buy the ticket to Paris?
It looks good on you. No worries.
It's good to age through this and witness so many great stories. Indeed. And I feel like it's just time for me to start telling my own. But yeah, it's been a fun ride. It's amazing what the camera brings you, how many people you can meet, how many rooms you can be in just by knowing your craft, so, yeah.
Speaking of your craft, you produced some movies of your own, right? Some short films of your own.
Yeah.
Talk to me about those.
Well, it's been a minute, but I mean, I went just the very first film that I show people is a movie called Who is Chris Rock? And that's the very first documentary done on Chris Rock. I did it as a student at NYU in 1989. So I've been making films. It's more than 20 years making films, but it's 21 years full time making films in the city of Philadelphia. So I always say it doesn't. Every dollar I made or didn't make since 2002 has come as a result of filmmaking, with films with my name on it. So it's been a nice run. But early on, I did a lot of short documentaries on local artists. Not since going on the mainstream, we were filming a lot of concerts. This Philadelphia, for those who remember or don't remember, had a very vibrant music scene at the opening of the century. And Real Black Me and my partner in crime, Daryl DeBrest, were very fortunate to have access to the Black Lily artists. So we made documentaries about Black Lily artists like Kendra the Family Soul and Jasmine Sullivan and Lady Alma, who are all continuing to do great work.
Indeed.
And at the same time, we were getting grants to do short films for WYBE, which no longer exists, but it was Philadelphia Public Television here. So I did a movie called Next Tuesday. I used a lot of the Black Lily artists on the soundtrack, including John Legend, with a song that he ultimately won a Grammy for. But I discovered it first. I saw that song first. Stay With You. It's a beautiful song. John Legend did.
I don't think I've ever heard that song.
It's on the first album.
Do you want to sing a couple bars?
I sure don't.
No?
I sure don't.
Oh,
Don't put me on the spot.
Next time.
Never.
Never?
Never.
Oh, okay.
If you want to see me sing, I have a TikTok.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I get paid to sing.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Social media now. We're talking about social media now.
Yeah. If you want to see me embarrass myself, you have to click on my Real Black TikTok.
Wonderful.
Or watch Real Black TV every once in a while. I'll break into song or something. But
well, before we delve into social media, because I do want to talk about that.
Okay.
I want to talk about your platform because you have you're an archivist, right? And a historian, as far as I'm concerned, right? And so you have a lot of content, and you have a lot of content that educates the masses.
That's the goal.
Right.
That's the goal. With the YouTube channel, it was an extension of what we have been doing successfully for, like I said, 16 years in Philadelphia, which was showcasing Black film, Black ephemera. Actually, as this is being aired, I believe it's, you can check the scribe.org website, but I believe it's June 22nd. I'll be doing a showcase of some films from the archive. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things that me and Charles Woods love to do, is crate dig and find things that otherwise would not be seen and share them on the YouTube platform.
Can I give a shout out to Mr. Woods, please? Because it was such a pleasure to meet him, and I thank you, Mike, for introducing him to me and vice versa. He's such a wise man.
He has been doing, for those who don't know, Charles Woods is a film historian and archivist. He's my ace. Talk to him virtually every day about Black film and Black film history. And he is, like you said, a wealth of knowledge. He's been studying Black film and Black images for over 6 decades. And, so when we got together, we were able to pool our resources and build this YouTube channel into something that has over 1 million subscribers. So we're quite proud of that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's fantastic.
No thanks to YouTube. They demonetized us after 5 successful years. They said, no, we're corporate. We can take the money, but we can't pay you for sharing this information. So I feel like we kind of got our wake-up call, so to speak, to quote Paul Mooney, in the sense that we provided a resource and an outlet for information that no one else could have provided. And then they're going to continue to make money off of it in perpetuity. That's a new word that I just learned. In perpetuity. But we're not able to be rewarded for it any longer. But we're keeping the channel up for those who are wondering, because it's like a Pyrrhic victory. It's more important for people to have access to the information than for us to make $1 off of it.
Okay.
So,
Very good.
so but that, hence the beard. But yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the channel that otherwise would have been lost to time if not for me or Charles being there to press, play and record at the same time years ago. And then, you know, so you'll find Malcolm X speeches and you'll find stuff that I've done that's on the Real Black 2 channel. So we have 2 channels now on YouTube. One is one where we monetize, where we actually get money, and it's original content, and then one is historical content. So you have Real Black 1 and you have Real Black 2.
Okay.
So Real Black 1 is the historical content. Real Black 2 is the Dick Gregory interviews, the Paul Mooney interviews, the Ava DuVernay interviews, that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Okay. You're so down to earth. It's so easy to talk to.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it.
You.
Okay. Touche.
Okay. Touche. I think it's a good time for us to talk about independent filmmaker and how one survives, you know, in the business, right? You've been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah.
You've collaborated with many, many people. Recently you interviewed, I think it was a little over a year ago, you interviewed Chris Rock's brother. What is his name again?
Jordan?
Jordan Rock. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Years ago, 2011, I made a documentary. It was a follow-up to Who Was Chris Rock, called "Ladies and Gentlemen, Jordan Rock." And so when he's now on tour, you know, he was at the time he was just starting his career as a stand-up comedian. Now he's in his 30s and he's well established, and he tours with his brother Tony. So it was a great full circle moment to have Tony and Jordan back on the show, and hopefully, you know, we'll get Chris back on eventually when the time is right. I'll ask for that invitation to interview Chris again and catch up with Chris. But you know, right now it's a little difficult to get him on speed dial. So, but
getting back to independent filmmaking and any advice that you may have for someone who's pursuing a position in the field, right? What advice would you have to give to them?
That's a good question.
Pros and cons in the business, according to Mike Dennis.
It's so much different now than when I started. I mean, when I started, the model was Spike Lee and Robert Townsend. And these were people that, through just total resourcefulness, were able to make independent films at a very low cost. And I think it's now, you know, so when you watch a Spike Lee movie, early Spike Lee movie, he's not only the writer, the producer, the director, he's doing craft service, he's executive producing as Shelton J. Lee. You know, so when you watch the credits, you're like, oh, I have to learn all these things in order to do it. And I think it's very important to understand what each job is on the film, you know, so you can speak their language properly. But at the same time, we're past that point where you have to be an expert at everything in order to be considered a filmmaker. You know, I think writing is the key. You know, if you can tell your own stories, you can basically greenlight yourself into directing, if that's what you want to do. But there's literally hundreds of jobs in film now that are available to us, and you can farm yourself out as a freelancer or whatever and gain experience. You know, you can edit, you can do sound, you can do camera, cinematography. One of the people we just spoke with more recently on the YouTube show was Morgan Cooper, who did the Fresh Prince reboot, The Bel Air, for Peacock TV. It's about to go into season 3 as we speak. Yeah, but he started out, I first became acquainted with him. He was a cinematographer who was making his own films.
Oh.
And what he ended up doing, he made like a spec video, like what if The Fresh Prince was updated and it wasn't a comedy anymore, it was a drama. And he shot it, he just took a weekend off and shot it himself, and Will Smith sees it. And it's like, wow, that's a brilliant idea. And then he gets put on to do Bel Air as a series, and good luck finding him to do cinematography anymore. He's graduated, and I'm very happy for him. So there's more avenues into getting into the game than there were when you first started. Like, there are a lot of people that start off as musicians. You look at 50 Cent. He's a primetime TV mogul now, but he came in through music. Ava DuVernay came in through publicity. So it leads me to question whether or not you still need film school. And I think that if you are very serious about it, a very good graduate film program becomes essential, because it can help navigate you over some of the static that exists. Every day we have to sort through the static of social media in order to get to what's good. And that's what I like about the Real Black TV channel, is that it's curated in a way that whenever you see the logo, you're guaranteed something that's worth your time.
Our audience can't see the logo right now.
Of course they can.
Can we just see the logo, the entire logo? I mean, it looks fantastic. Can we get a close-up of the entire logo, please?
What is Superman? What's going on?
I just love the logo.
I think you can see it. I feel like Magic Mike up in here. Come on now. All right, you got it.
There we go. I love it.
Okay, so whenever you see that logo, it's worth your time.
Indeed.
So there's more avenues to navigate. I'm an older soul in this game. I don't know how people are doing it. If it's making a TikTok video now and going viral, and that introduces you to someone who can help you advance. Being an early YouTuber like an Issa Rae or something like that. Can create opportunities for you.
It's very interesting to see the amount of people that are getting recognition for their work on the social media platforms and being
that's what people have
directly
time for.
Connected to, somehow.
Now, unfortunately, it's always been about money, but there used to be people that would go out to seek out the next wave of talent, and then bring them into the industry and help build them up. Now it's the opposite. Now the people whose job is to gatekeep, they look for the most popular person and try to gravitate off of them, as opposed to the other way around. So. If you can build up 1 million views, 1 million followers on Instagram, you can pretty much write your own ticket.
Okay.
So
monetization is for real.
I'm saying platforms. in the sense that if you have 1 million people already following you, then an agent or a manager or something that's looking to capitalize will bring you in and help promote you further.
Okay.
Sort of the same thing that was happening 20, 25 years ago in the record industry with, say, a Master P, is now happening across the board in all forms of entertainment, including motion pictures. Okay. So Master P was an independent record. For those who don't know, Master P was a independent record producer, rap mogul, and he became a rap mogul when he signed his label No Limit Records over to Universal.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, and he helped usher in a lot of other people, like Cash Money Records followed suit. They were able to basically take their regional following and prove to the industry, the corporate America, that they could, with some extra money, amplify their voice. Now, what it did to the culture, that's a whole other story. But that was the name of the game in music, and film kind of follows music. in that sense. So Issa Rae does a similar thing when she has Awkward Black Girl, and she's got millions of YouTube views. Then some smart, intelligent person, let's say, over at HBO says, well, we should sign her up, you know. But as in the past, that same person would have to go to like a one-person show to discover Whoopi Goldberg or something like that, you know, or go to a dingy nightclub to discover that person. Now they just scroll through their phone. Oh, I like that and has a lot of followers. Let me bring that person in for a meeting. So, yeah.
Let's see here. My next question would be, which interviews and or documentaries on your platform did you find most enjoyable?
Oh, to do, or in
Yeah.
terms of like the response?
And you in one of the best positions you could be
Well,
in.
the problem is the ones
see,
that do the best
TV.
are the ones I'm
Oh, that's over.
least comfortable about.
The
Right.
internet.
Well,
See,
the
that's what
Dick
gotta be
Gregory
a copy
interviews
yourself.
Okay.
were very
understand.
torturous to do.
Well, yeah.
But I think people like the tension that they
30
find.
years ago, NBC was bankrupt.
Dick Gregory
It's a shame.
didn't suffer many fools.
But he didn't understand white supremacy like most of us don't.
At his
White
advanced
folks don't
age,
understand.
he had a very short temper.
But you getting something?
Very
I'll
short
take it.
No,
temper.
I got it. Okay.
But I think
Okay. All right, we're gonna talk about Cosby.
that's part of the
We talk about anything.
We'll talk about anything. So, all right, so we're here. We got the
And what's great about it for me is the fact that people tune in for the train wreck, but at the same time they're being exposed to information, esoteric information that they otherwise wouldn't have available to them. You know, so.
Okay.
So, and the same with the Monique interview. You know, I chose to leave in uncomfortable moments for myself, but it was just because I wanted people to see how she is a genuine human being, you know. So, and that proved to be quite popular and it went viral at the time.
Okay.
So so in retrospect, I enjoyed both those interviews, but at the time we were doing it, I was, cringing. You can see me uncomfortable. Well, you can't see me in the Dick Gregory interviews, but you can see me uncomfortable with Monique, who I love dearly.
Yeah.
Monique is cool.
Yeah, she's a smart woman.
But I don't go into it thinking I'm gonna have fun doing this interview. I go in really like, what's the story? Can I get the story? And I listen very carefully as we do the interviews to make sure that we have something that, like, I won't leave an interview unless there's a time limit placed until I hear a beginning, middle, and end to the story.
That's wonderful advice, Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so I'm always listening. Like, okay, what is this story really about? What is this person? I come in with my preconceived notions, but then what is this person really trying to tell me? And then try to get enough material to boil it down for
Right.
that. Now, some things are just like stunts, like when, rest in peace, Twitch boss, when I had the opportunity to interview Twitch, that was just about, okay, well, you're this world famous dancer, why don't you show me a few moves, and that's when I get to have a little fun and play around a little bit, but it's varied. I mean, we've done hundreds of interviews on the channel. I've been very fortunate to build up my 10,000 hours by getting to know people, and I think that's a fun part of the job.
Is there anyone in particular that stands out that made you feel intimidated or nervous, uncomfortable?
I think I just answered that. I mean,
Other
Dick
than
Gregory.
Dick Gregory.
I'm sure there are, but Tyler Perry, that was a
Okay.
stressful interview because
Okay.
we were coming from DC that day.
Okay.
And we were running late, and we got a call, Tyler Perry's gonna be in town, do you wanna interview him? I'm like, of course. But we literally had to travel through traffic, like 3 hours in rush hour traffic to get to the screening. And you can obviously see the sweat,
Okay.
because it's like, it's Tyler Perry. It's my very first time to meet him. And then it's like, okay, preparation, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So I did the best I could. That's somebody I would love to sit down with. There were a few people that I still don't, as much as they've done interviews, I still don't feel like they've done what I would consider a quintessential interview from my standpoint.
Okay.
You know, and there are people like that you know, you really could break down the business of filmmaking with, you know, as opposed to, you know, the obvious questions sometimes, you know, so.
Okay. The reason why I wanted you to speak more in depth about that is because, you know, when you're venturing into a new industry or a new skill set, you know, and even for me, you know, sometimes I get a little nervous about my approach, the way I look, the way I speak, you know, just as any of us do, right? And so there's always this learning curve.
Okay.
And right now, in the moment, I feel completely comfortable.
You should.
You know, and whereas at one point, I'm having these out-of-body experiences, and it was the weirdest feeling.
Well, you put yourself into it, though. The more you do it, the better you'll get at anything. You know, and that was something, I mean, I remember the very first time we did a Real Black Presents. I mean, I was nervous. I had a co-host, Shannon Newby, because I had a great fear of public speaking, you know. And it really wasn't until I got onto the radio with WURD, we had a show for 2 years, me and Stephanie Renee, that I lost my camera shyness or whatever, because they literally forced me to come up with new stuff to talk about every single week. I had to scour the newspapers and websites and stuff in order to get to fill an hour of with information. And you know, so it brought up another side of my personality that I probably was not developed. I wouldn't say I was hiding it, but it was not developed, you know. So yeah, the more you do, and that was something that, who told me this? I think Tim Green, another local filmmaker. He said, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And that's true about everything in life.
Okay.
You know.
Thank you.
So, and you've been doing this for a while.
I have, and it always helps to have someone that you enjoy speaking to. You know, it always helps. Well, let me say this. Your work is highly acclaimed. You are so respected for the work that you do.
Thank you.
And we all really appreciate what you give back to the community. In a little bit, we'll have, I want to introduce you to another friend of mine. His name is Chris Rogers. And the reason why I wanted to pair the two of you together is because you all have a historical background, and I think it'd be great for you all to talk and collaborate with each other.
Okay, I'm open to everything. So.
Yeah. So we'll be back in a moment. Thanks again for joining us. Welcome back to Diamond and Ruff. I'm your host, Karen Walker, and I have the pleasure, the distinct honor to host two featured guests today. Michael Dennis and Christopher Rogers. We're now welcoming Christopher Rogers to the set. He is an educator and cultural worker from Chester, Pennsylvania. Additionally, he is currently a doctoral student, right?
Dissertating doctoral student.
Okay,
right?
At the University of Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about that before I continue
Yes.
with your bio.
We mentioned West Philadelphia, so my dissertation project is exploring Black storytelling in West Philadelphia. So, you know, much of my research is sitting, you know, at the Paul Robeson House Museum on the porch with community elders and just sharing experiences about the neighborhood. So we did that for about 6 to 8 months. I'm just pulling stories from the what was shared, the themes, and what it means about how Black stories preserve, you know, not only histories but values of a community.
And that's why I have this full circle collaboration going on right here with the two of you, because you have so many stories to share with our audience and amongst each other. So thank you again for joining me today. I'll continue
Okay.
with your bio here. He studies neighborhood storytelling, as you said, practices in West Philadelphia. He serves on the National Steering Committee
Yes.
for Black Lives Matter at school, supporting movements for racial justice in K to 12.
12, but we also have a number of folks who work in college spaces. So sometimes they say this term K to 16 to acknowledge higher ed.
Okay, I was reluctant to even go there because I have it in my notes, but I
Right.
thought, wait, but I don't want to sound ignorant now on television. I'm not doing that today.
Yes.
K through 16. Okay, all right. So welcome again.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Okay, so first and foremost, what I want to do is pay homage to the late Francis P. Alston,
Yes.
who was
The founder and executive director of the West Philadelphia Cultural Alliance. The West Philadelphia Cultural Alliance is the 501c3, which operates the Paul Robeson House and Museum. So, Mama Fran, as we call her, began the West Philadelphia Cultural Alliance in 1984. So the history of our organization is, cultural organizing in West Philadelphia since 1984. The Robeson House story begins in the early 90s with the property on the corner, 4951 Walnut Street, and Mama Fran, finds a way to get the funding and a coalition to recover and make that house a National Historic Landmark, and then built it into a museum. So we continue on her legacy now.
It's beautiful. I can't wait to come and see it. It's been way too long.
Yes.
I've been familiar with the museum for many, many years, but I just haven't taken the time. So forgive me. Now let's talk about the history of Paul Robeson.
Yes.
Okay, because this brother, a legacy, right, for our culture, right? Tell me some facts that you'd be willing to share about Paul Robeson.
Yeah, I think, one thing, and I'm sorry, but
It's okay.
One of the things that Paul would often do is say his last name is 2 syllables.
Right.
Paul Robeson.
Okay.
And it's something that we always in a conversation. Actually, when the pandemic hit, we had like these specialized masks made to sort of like help with the communication around that.
Okay.
So Paul Robeson. And I always mess up too.
Okay.
So it's nothing that is too heavy. I hate to make that the first fact. But,
It's okay. It's
Paul
okay.
Robeson was born in Princeton, New Jersey in 1898, and has really done so much. Known as like a Renaissance man. Graduated with honors in high school. I think there was no extracurricular activity that he refused. Between theater to oratorical contests to debate and of course sports. Walter Camp sort of announces Paul Robeson as one of the greatest football players of his generation. And he, used professional football to pay his way through law school. He graduated from Columbia University Law School.
He also attended Rutgers.
Yes, so
he got a full academic scholarship.
Right.
Right. I was unaware of that.
Yes.
Okay.
And the funny story about that is he wanted to go to Princeton.
Oh wow.
Right.
Okay.
They weren't accepting black folks at the time. So, and the story is, he was planning to go to Princeton. Once he found this out, he said, I guess I got to apply to Rutgers. And there's a test that he has to take, the aptitude test.
Okay.
He hasn't studied, right? He doesn't even know it exists. He's like, well, I guess I got to take this test today. And he goes to take the test. He gets the 3rd highest score in the test's history.
Wow.
So in terms of his aptitude, his intelligence, his commitment to study is really unmatched. And he brought all those skills into his career in the arts.
And so Paul
Robeson.
Robeson.
Yes.
Right, Robeson.
Right.
Okay.
We gonna get it right.
We're going to
We
get
gonna
it
get it
together
together.
eventually.
Right.
Okay. Was also a vocalist.
Yes.
A world-renowned vocalist.
And the story we tell in the house about his life as a vocalist, it begins almost on accident.
Right.
While he's doing a play. And the director, asks him to hum. And Paul he's not a classically trained vocalist, but I don't know how to hum. So the director, well, just go out there and just do something. And he sings. And his manager is also his lifetime partner, Slonda Robeson, is in the audience. And they feel the audience perk up when he sings. And they say, we got to do something about this.
Right.
And they partner with Lawrence Brown, a pianist, and they began to mold a performance set around Negro spirituals. So like Paul Robeson in the 20th century is like one of the foremost, vocalists of the Negro spiritual around the world. But he certainly doesn't stop there. Okay. He lives a really globe-trotting life and studies people's music from all around the globe.
Okay. I want to revert back to your mentioning the Renaissance,
yes.
right? And Mike, if you could speak to your knowledge about that period of time.
The Harlem Renaissance?
Yes. For those who speak to our audience, to those who don't
quiz?
know. No, because I know that you're familiar with that time period and,
Well, I mean, it was a period, everybody's harking back to like, are we experiencing another renaissance of Black creativity? But, the time period labeled the Harlem Renaissance from the 1920s into like the late 30s or so was a period where a lot of artists and cultural talent gravitated to Harlem, specifically the village of Harlem in New York. Much like people gravitated to Brooklyn in the late 90s, Black creatives, and just did a wellspring of different expressions of what it meant to be Black at the time. And going from Langston Hughes to Zora Neale Hurston, you ran the gamut. And I suppose Mr. Robeson was a part of that in some respects.
Yes, and I think one of the films that I know, or filmmakers that I know is on the Real Black Historical Channel, is Oscar Micheaux.
Yes, we
who
have a lot of
Paul Robeson in his first film, Body and Soul, 1925.
He played two parts.
Played two parts. It's a twin, and it's a great film. It's actually been remastered, and DJ Spooky did like a new score for the film as well. It's a really amazing film.
Yeah, that's not on the channel because it is under Criterion Collection has that.
Oh, okay. But I know there's like learning about those early Black filmmakers.
Yeah, but we do have a lot of Oscar Micheaux movies content on YouTube on our channel, but that's one we're not touching.
Okay.
Because
that makes sense.
It's readily available.
Right.
So.
Chris is very fond of you.
I appreciate that.
And he highly respects your work.
I got a story about that too.
Please do. Please do.
And I know it's your 20th anniversary,
Yeah.
So I just got recently married.
Oh, congratulations.
Last year.
Congratulations.
Yes. And one of our first dates was going to see Terrence Nance's oversimplification of her beauty.
Okay.
It was a Real Black produced event, and they actually had a raffle because I won a signed poster of oversimplification of our beauty from a Real Black event. That was one of our first dates.
Wonderful. I hope you still have it. Terrence is still doing major stuff, and it's probably has some value at this point.
You're right. I should think about this. What can we do?
We can do a lot
Right.
now.
Right.
Well, first works are always important in collectors' stuff, and if you have something signed, it's their first piece of work, then that has an inherent collector's value to it. But yeah, I remember those. And Terrence was at one of the events. Were you at the?
This was at the Ritz at the Bortz, I want to say.
Yeah, well, yeah. Terrence was at one of those screenings, but then there was another one where we did the posters. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a great film for those who haven't seen it. It's getting harder to see too, and as we
Why
speak,
is
I
that?
think, well, because it was independently released.
Philadelphia has so much history, right? And so many talented people. Getting back to Paul Robeson. I don't know when I'm going to get this right, but I eventually will. Hopefully by the end of the show. Robeson.
Yeah,
Right.
we good.
Okay. Performed pretty frequently here in the
Yes.
Philadelphia area, right? He performed at the Walnut Street Theater, and then he also performed at the Robin Hood Del East.
Yes.
He was recognized for his work in the film Emperor Jones.
Yes.
Right? Talk about that for us. if you
Right.
would,
So
please.
Emperor Jones is a play that Robeson, Eugene O'Neill produces the play Emperor Jones, and Robeson's connected through that play throughout the 20s. The movie comes pretty late, like if there's this theatrical run that's sort of like in the late 20s. The movie doesn't really hit Hollywood until like 1935, 1936. But Robeson's very familiar with the character at the time. And it's one of the stories that we connect to Emperor Jones. It's the first time in Hollywood that a black actor is billed above white actors in terms of the marketing and promotions of the film.
Right, he has a starring role.
Right, it
Yeah.
makes Robeson the first African American leading man, where the movie is built around his name, right? And that sets a blueprint for many of his mentees, people like Sidney Poitier, Ossie Davis, Harry Belafonte, James Earl Jones, and James Earl Jones' father shares a lot of great stories about Paul Robeson as well. So that the first black star in Hollywood, you know, Emperor Jones.
Very good. So now, is his octave considered like baritone, or is it like a deep bass? Like what is that? Do you know?
Is there a way you could say bass baritone?
You just said it.
Okay, look.
Okay, so that's what's going to be today.
Right, and
Okay.
it's got to connect the story to that.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Orchestra
I like
last
it.
summer did a partnership project with us where they brought a baritone vocalist
Okay.
to like re-envision some Paul Robeson classics as part of the documentary that's now available on YouTube, where folks can
Okay.
see, you know, the orchestra coming to the Paul Robeson House and Museum,
Okay.
and you see this performance of Robeson's classic work.
Well, very good. Well, now that we're giving out, shout outs, I want to give a shout out to my daddy, who provided voiceovers for today's show. He always admired Paul Robeson, and he sang a couple of songs for us. I wanted him to join us today on the show, but unfortunately he couldn't be here. But he was in the studio about a month and a half ago, and he recorded in the audio booth for me, Old Man River and Steal Away. So we will hear that his voice, his deep Old Man River baritone bass
Right.
voice when the show was aired. So thank you, Daddy. I appreciate it. My father's name is Kerry Jr. Walker. Thank you, Daddy.
I have a question. I mean, what led you to know about Paul Robeson or want to be a part of that?
So I come out of educational organizing. One of my, collectives that I often talk about is the Philadelphia Black History Collaborative. And thinking of like the role of African American history. Philadelphia is one of the few cities in the nation that has an African American history requirement, graduation requirement within our schools. And thinking of the importance of always renewing that legacy. So that made me aware of a number of African American historical sites. I was living in North Philly before I moved to West. I lived right next to the Church of the Advocate. And that's such a beloved space, in terms of like the Black Power movement, the murals that are there. So I thought about these Black legacy spaces that we have in the city. So in 2015, and it's connecting, also homage back to Mama Fran. So Mama Fran transitioned to Ancestor in September of 2015.
Okay.
And Miss Renoka Michael, who ran the Blue Horizon Boxing Gym, took over her friends, the museum, the West Philadelphia Cultural Alliance, and had an initial meeting over at the Robeson House to say, Mama Fran spent so much of her time, her life, investing into this space, and we cannot let that just wither away. So what can we do to ensure that this legacy lives on? And that was my first time going to the Robeson House for that meeting. And I said, well, Ms. Winoka, I know a couple people. We can find ways to integrate, what's happening in the community into the life of the Robeson House. And I started there. And then maybe a year later, I figured out how to pack the house. Then a couple months after that, Ms. Winoka and we did it again. And then 3 months after that, I was named program director.
Speak to how you're able to manage your time and all your efforts, because that's a lot to entail.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, I think
what is that experience like?
The important thing, as I always say, and especially with the younger folks, is you work smart, not hard, right? And it's always about with the new tools and technologies that we have, like how do we build things in such a way where we allow the technology to work for us. So, but then also in terms of the type of events that I'm doing, it is about study, right? A lot of it comes back to like knowing the history, knowing the work, but then after that, it's really conversation, right? You don't have to do a whole agenda when we can say, hey, we got 3 very wise people in this room. We all bring our experiences and perspectives. When we allow that to guide the conversation, you don't have to do all the extra planning. So it's a bit about, I am a millennial generation, knowing how to use all these tools.
Don't let me bring out a rotary phone, okay, and watch you try to figure out how to use it.
Right.
Okay, or an Atari or something like that. I mean, I don't want to age myself, but it was a wonderful period of time.
Really? Atari?
Indeed. Okay. So we don't need Google or anything
I got
like that to
PlayStation.
survive, okay?
Okay.
Don't let me bring out
All
a
right.
typewriter.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gone too far back.
That's too far?
My aunt used to have a word processor.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that's probably the next stage after the typewriter, right?
Yeah, but I think, and the same thing with film, right? There's a lot of the evolution of technology, the evolution of platforms to be able to, put things out. It really gives you a new creative platform and how you use that time to really make an impact in the community. And you're always building relationships in community. I'm from organizing, so it's always about the networks that we're building. And the work may have my name on it, but certainly there's 10, 15 people that are representing and pulling these things together.
Indeed. And to that, I want to say cultural significance plays a major role, because that's basically what we're talking about. Do either of you have anything that you want to say with regards to our role as being role models for people who have an interest in
what, filmmaking?
Filmmaking, being a program director,
I honestly,
any kind of profession.
I'm not the most humble person, but I really have no perception of how people read me. It just depends on what room you come in. So if somebody considers me a role model, I'm just flattered. I just do the work is really what it amounts to, and there's lots of work to be done. So whatever you feel you can contribute to in terms of this, I'm all about Black empowerment, and I was told a long time ago, if you don't do it, no one else will. Because they're not really checking for us, in certain spheres. So just do the work is really what I would say, and whatever success comes from that, it's inevitable. It'll find you.
Mike's really humble. I remember going to an event and watching Ava DuVernay say from the stage, Mike and Real Black built the audience for my films in Philadelphia, and look at where she is now. So I will say, in terms of cultural significance, one of my next projects is with the Henry Ossawa Tanner House in North Philadelphia, 2908 West Diamond Street, a National Historic Landmark. Henry Ossawa Tanner is known to be by the Smithsonian as the most accomplished African-American artist of the 19th century. He grew up in Strawberry Mansion, spent his teenage years there, and we're working on saving that house. So SaveTheTannerHouse.org is a project we're working on, and it talks about just what it means to build community and bring new generations into preserving these spaces of cultural significance.
Okay, Excellent, excellent. I want to take just a brief break because I said before we have a reason to celebrate. So we'll be back.
Everybody's got one except me? What's going on? So I didn't get a... Oh.
Congratulations
Okay.
on
okay.
reaching your 20
All right.
and 21-year benchmark.
This,
Michael Dennis.
this is legal in New Jersey.
Whoa! Hey, ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. All right. I want to thank Mike for being here. I want to thank Chris for being here. I want to thank my entire crew. You are.
I'm supposed to open it.
You are supposed to open it now.
Open it.
This is gonna get me in trouble.
Now, I hope you like it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do. You know I like chocolate. There's enough to share.
All righty.
Chocolate.
All right.
Are there 20 in each box? That'd be something.
Okay. Congratulations.
So thoughtful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Another 20 years, I'll get some peppermint patties.
Woo!